In video 1, you learned how to create and save a customized Top Science Excel workbook. Prior to recording an observation in that workbook, you must create a unique observation ID for that particular observation. You must also enter the teacher's responses to the pre-observation questions in your workbook. This video demonstrates how to do this. If you've not already done so, open your Top Science Excel workbook, enable the macros, and restore the function buttons. In the Pre-Post tab, complete all the fields in the Class Info section. In the Teacher Name text box, enter the name of the teacher you're going to observe. If you will be observing multiple teachers co-teaching a class, you may enter all their names in this box. In the Observation Dates text box, you may enter multiple dates if, for example, you're going to be observing one lesson over the course of multiple days. Notice the text box next to observation code is orange. This is because the observation code is required to generate the observation ID. In this text box, enter the desired 8 alphanumeric character code that you have created based on your personal coding scheme. Your personal coding scheme, for example, the school initials, course initials, teacher initials, and lesson number, is extremely important. This is how you'll recognize and organize all your data for all your observations. Once you've entered the observation code, click Enter. You should see Code OK after Required for Observation ID below the observation code. If you entered a special character or the wrong number of characters, you will see an error message under the observation code and you'll need to re-enter the code. An observation ID will be generated using the code you created and a computer-provided 3-digit code from 100 to 999. It will also include the observer's initials. This observation ID will appear in the upper left corner of the Pre-Post toolbar. To save this observation data in the workbook, you must use the Update and Save button provided within the tab. Do not use the Excel file save options at this point. Update and Save transfers the record to the Pre-Post Data and Interval Data tabs of the workbook. It also saves the entire workbook on the computer. Using the Excel file save options as you work could result in the observer saving the workbook to the computer without updating the pre-post data and interval data databases. Click Update and Save. A Create New Observation pop-up window will open warning that this will enter the new observation into your database, and you will not be able to change the 8-character observation code or delete the observation. Click OK to save the workbook. The observation ID will now appear in the scrollable list in the Pre-Post toolbar, and the entire observation workbook is now saved. A new row for this pre-post record is now created in the Pre-Post Data tab, and it is populated with the data that you have entered. Next, in the Pre-Post tab, enter the teacher's responses under the appropriate rows in the Pre-Observation Teacher Q&A section. To copy external text to the workbook, copy conventionally from a Word or other document containing the teacher's responses. Select the desired workbook cell, and then select and paste into the formula bar at the top of the workbook. Do not double-click in a cell and paste directly to it, as that method would apply the formatting of the copied text, which could corrupt your workbook. You must paste into the formula bar at the top of the page. Pasted text with more than about 300 characters or lots of line breaks will extend beyond the visible cell after entry. You can expand the formula bar and use the formula scroll bar to view the text. Once you have finished entering the teacher's responses to the pre-observation questions, click the Update and Save button at the top of the page to transfer the record to the Pre-Post Data tab and save the workbook. A Modify Existing Observation pop-up window will ask you to confirm that you wish to modify an observation record already in the database. To proceed with updating and saving these changes to your record, click OK. The row for this pre-post record in the Pre-Post Data tab will now be updated with the data that you have entered. If you're not going to immediately perform the observation, you may close the workbook at this time. When you are ready to continue to the next section of the Top Science Excel workbook, see video 3 for a demonstration on how to load an existing observation record to view, add, or edit data for an observation. Visit the Top Science page on the EDC's website for additional Top Science tutorial videos or to access the Top Science Excel Observer Reference Guide, which provides a detailed overview of the Top Science Excel workbook, including technology requirements, background on how the protocol was developed, and information on what each portion of the protocol entails.